quick ASMR. Oh man, so good. By the way, we're sponsored by Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Yeah, just really want to shout out Dr. Pepper for going out their way to reach out to us. You know, they let us know we're like the fastest growing podcast they've ever seen. You know, humbly, they said we're up there with Joe Rogan. We're up there with Jordan Peterson. We're a little bit more intelligent is what they told us, which is why they want to invest in us. And yeah, we'll be partnering with Jordan Peterson to write our next book. It's called 15 Rules for Life because 12 isn't enough.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, we didn't want to take this sponsorship on. We thought we were too good for them, but
We're way too big for them.
But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be working with Tesla next. They also reached out to us. And who else? The Kardashians wanted to work with us. We let them know they're too low-key.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was down to work with Kim, but
just
about it.
She's not big
Kylie.
enough. I don't think she's big enough.
She's not big enough where, though?
I mean, we could... One
She's
thing we
big
could
enough
do, we could kind of put her on a little bit and, like, give her a platform and an opportunity to grow because she needs someone like us to help her out, you know? But, yeah, we're back. Seeking Truth, episode 13.
This is episode number 13. Last one was a disaster. I'm not going to lie.
The last two.
The last two.
We've had some disasters.
So I actually checked. Have you checked our recent numbers for the first YouTube vid?
No.
Dude, honestly, I was like, oh, we're going to be fine. Nobody's going to watch it. It had like 57 views.
I love we said it like it's a huge number, though.
No. I'm only saying that because...
We thought it was going to get 3.
We thought it was going to get 3 views.
We didn't promote it at all.
And the video was bad. Like
bad.
Towards the end of it was... What even happened? The sound got like... It just wasn't working.
I feel bad for all 57 people that watched that. We didn't promote it at all. Zero promotion.
We wanted to put it out, just put something out. And we did. And we didn't even notice till people started telling us that the audio was messed up. But
yeah.
Oh, well.
I like this new setup, though. I like being face-to-face.
Yeah.
It's like we're on a date. I also like being able to sit barefoot and nobody knows.
Was it like a blind date? Are we getting to know each other right now?
Speed dating.
Speed dating.
We have a minute. Where are you from?
I'm from Moore Park.
What do you do?
I work with my dad.
Why do you do it?
His work.
What do you do with your dad?
What do I do with my dad? We supply ranches with horse food products.
What makes you a valuable partner? Second question. You're a good-looking guy, but, you know, there's plenty of good-looking guys in Los Angeles, California. What other 3 traits do you have?
All right, look, I don't like this. I'm not going to lie.
All right. I guess we're not compatible.
No, we're not. You're too much for me.
It was speed dating. You got to get the questions in quick.
What kind of questions are those, man?
All right, speed date me.
I don't want to know what makes you different than the next guy.
Because we're sitting here face-to-face right now on a podcast.
Yeah, but in 30 seconds, he's going to sit here next to me as well.
Okay.
So what makes you different?
That's something for you to find out. You know, obviously I can't explain that in 30 seconds, but I could show it to you in 30 days.
What are you going to show?
There's a lot to show.
Okay. That's what the last guy told me.
All right. Well, I'm not him.
Sounds like it. Guy said the same thing. You know what that sounds like? Car salesman at LA Fitness one time interviewed for the position. And I remember my manager at the time, I was doing the interview with him. He goes, why should we hire you? And he goes, I think a better question is, you should ask yourself, why should you hire me? What do you mean? We just looked at each other like...
I think it's a funny question.
It is a funny question.
You tell me, why should you hire me? He tried to hit you with the checkmate.
You got to sell yourself, man.
He was like, man, you can't ask me all these questions if you're not willing to answer it. That's actually funny, though. What's the number one interview question?
The number one interview
If you're going to interview somebody, what's your go-to question to figure out if they're a good candidate? Because we both obviously hired people before in different roles.
I mean, you start us off.
So
I feel like there's multiple questions. And it also depends on what you're looking for, what position you're looking for.
I got one. So what are your goals? That's the best question ever.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from the person. I I just need some hours, need to get my
Mhm.
money up, compared to the person that wants to come in and grow with the company and I want to learn, take me under your wing.
What do you
Yeah.
want out of this job? You got to
Exactly,
figure out
yeah.
if it's compatible with them.
You gotta figure out if they're here to stay or just here to collect the paycheck and get out.
On the second hand, we did our little speed dating segment 30
Mhm.
seconds ago, which clearly I showed a great candidate for. But
Kicking right now, man.
so when you're with a
Kick.
chick, you're on a date.
Oh, I'm on a date.
What's a question that you ask them during the first date? Do you have any specific
I
questions
don't
you'd
go
like to
on
ask them?
dates. You're a big date guy,
You
though.
are a date guy.
No, you are.
You can't say you're not.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So yeah. So while we're on that topic, I mean, start us off. What are your go-tos? Because you go on a lot of dates.
A lot is crazy.
You go on a good amount of dates.
If I'm talking to a chick, I take her on a date. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you
good.
that. I mean, what do
So-
you do?
What do I do?
Do you not take them on a date?
I don't really hang out with women like that.
Producer Rod. I wish you're on the mic right now, but he's laughing because he knows your cap.
No, he's laughing because I put you on the spot and you're not wanting to answer right now.
He just gave me the nod
Ding, ding,
saying
ding, ding,
saying it
ding.
was both ways. So what was the question?
It was when you're on a date, what do you ask the girl to get to know her? I mean,
To be honest,
varies, I think.
yeah, there's no specific
From
question.
women to women.
Yeah.
If I was going on a date,
You got to see they're fun. Cuz like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of good-looking chicks in the world. A lot of good-looking chicks you go on dates with, but
I like that smile Brandon's giving me right now.
I feel like the main separator is like if they're fun. Like if they're genuinely fun and like you mesh well with them, like it works. That's really what you're looking for. So there's no
Yeah,
question.
someone that's
you
not
say for that.
boring, can make you laugh, and is a believer. That's like,
Yeah, how quick do you ask that question, or do you already know if they're a believer jumping into it?
I mean, it depends. It varies. Like if you already know the person, you already know that about them, or if you just met them. I mean, it's as simple as like which church do you go to, and then
Oh, you do the assumed close.
Yeah.
Which church do you go to?
yeah.
I ask them. I always
Are you a
make,
believer?
I make terrible jokes though too. Every time I bring it up.
Like what?
I told when I was Mormon once.
Are you serious?
Dude, I do dumb stuff. I told when I was Mormon. I told when she was like making fun of autistic people. And I was like, oh, I should probably tell you then. And I told her I had Asperger's. She's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
tell?
Nah, I don't really get out of hand like that. I kind of just lie about my ethnicity sometimes. I use I've told some that I'm light skinned, like half black.
That's so
half
crazy that they believe that.
white. It's all jokes. I tell them the truth right after though. It's just jokes, you know.
I say the same thing. I go, what ethnicity do you think I am?
And then whatever they say, like, yeah, how'd you know?
Yeah. And mine's easy though. Obviously I'm white, but sometimes they like look into it a little bit. They like give me
Yeah.
a look. And like, you definitely have something else in
Now,
you.
what's crazy to me is when I say some BS, and they're like, "Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it a little bit." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
You rock with it for a few
Yeah,
seconds. and
but
then break the
anyways,
news.
so while we're on the topic of dating, like, what's your love life looking like right now?
Getting personal with me, bro.
No, I mean, the ladies listening want to know if you're single. Are you single?
No, that's a good question. You could always get personal. Dude, it's funny. We recorded that one pod. I'll get back to your question. We recorded that. We didn't record it. Me, you, and Rod.
And
had a
you gave us
conversation.
the entire rundown of your last situation, and we didn't even get that recorded.
I know, but also, like I was talking about getting personal. That was our most personal conversation we've ever had. When it was me, you, and
All
Rod, and
three
we were
of
sitting there.
us, you guys would have known everything about me,
Everything about
and
us.
Didn't happen.
That was a good conversation. But back to
Yeah.
the question. My love life, I mean, I'm single. I'm dating. Not dating anybody in specific, but like if I come across somebody that's interesting or
So
like
you're looking.
I don't know if looking's the right word, but like I'll go
You're-
on dates. Like I'm definitely getting to know
Mm.
women if one comes across that I think is somebody I'm interested in.
So what do you look for when you're looking?
I mean, the key traits? What do you mean by looking for? Like, are we talking looks? Or are we
So
talking?
obviously there's a million girls in the world, right?
Yeah.
What does one have that makes her stand out from the rest?
I think obviously believers number one. If they don't check that box, to be honest, they're undateable for me personally. Like I understand that, but that just means we're incompatible because I know that's who I am, and that's the biggest piece in who I am. And if they don't have that, off the jump, that's already so many different traits and morals and values that we're not going to align on. So believers definitely number one, but number two is they got to be fun because if anybody knows me, they know like no matter what I do, I have fun with it. So like it doesn't matter if I'm going on a date to Dave and Buster's or going out to a restaurant or just going on a walk. Like that should be fun, like in conversation.
Regardless of what you're doing, have a good time in doing it.
Yeah, and you like, I'm very sarcastic, I would say. So I make a lot of early on, like I kind of dip my toes in the water with that, and I'll throw some sarcasm at them, and I got to see how they react to it. Sometimes like chicks will impress me because they'll catch on and they'll start throwing it back. That's not like a necessary thing, but
that's
just the chicks that's fun.
Because you got to be able to have a similar sense of humor.
Yes.
Because if you're a sarcastic, joking kind of guy, and the chick's not, she gets pissed at you, and it's like, well, damn, I can't be myself around you.
Yeah. And then I feel like an a-hole.
Yeah.
But also it's like, in every date you go on, things go wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's never perfect.
Even when they go wrong, it's like if the chick still likes you.
Yes.
After like, oh, dude, that was horrible, or I said some dumb thing, and she still likes you, then it's valid.
I agree. Like I'll tell you about this one date I went on recently.
Ooh, I love this.
I've glanced on this story with you before, but I didn't go in much detail. But I went on a date with this girl, and
Glad it was a woman.
We met her it was a woman. It wasn't a man. I met her halfway.
I'm not judging if it was though.
Yeah, all right, you definitely are. I'm judging myself on that too. But so I met her halfway at this parking lot that was like outside of this, because I'm picking her up and taking her to a restaurant.
Okay, so it's not just like meet me at the parking lot.
No, it's not sketchy. It's like I'm gonna drive halfway. We'll meet because we live not that far away, but far enough to where you want to meet halfway. And so she parks in like this parking lot that's behind a golf course or like a mini golf. What do they call those? Like a mini golf?
Like a golf range?
No, it was mini golf, but it's like, how they have like arcades and stuff in there. Anyways.
Oh, like, what's it called? Spot out in Ventura.
Yeah, like the spot out in Ventura.
Just mini golfing. And they have like go-kart and like games to play.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that. What's that one called?
I can't remember.
Golf and Stuff.
Golf and Stuff.
It's similar to Golf and Stuff, but it wasn't Golf and Stuff. It's directly halfway between us. I thought it was a safe bet. Park. It's not sketchy at all. So she comes, she parks her car. Obviously, I'll drive. So I pick her up. I drive her to the restaurant. We're out later than expected,
you
but
went,
not
you
that
went
late.
to a dinner?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
We went to a sushi place in Calabasas.
Ooh, he's bougie.
Yeah, so bougie, bro.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that expensive, but it was nice. It was sugarfish. Rod actually.
He wanted to take us there one time because he was going with his recent wife.
Yeah, well,
They're not
longer.
together no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that spot.
So yeah, I take her there. We hang out. We drive back because she was gonna go home, and we drive back to the spot. And the gate that was open where we parked our cars was closed and locked. So and her car's
you never
inside.
told me this.
Her car's inside of there. So her car's trapped inside of this.
Now you might have told me about
Yes,
this.
inside of this like parking lot outside of Golf and Stuff. So I park my car, I get out, I hop the gate, she's with me. We're like checking her car out. There's a park ranger car parked next to her, but nobody's in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, this is a tough situation. Like, there's no way her car's getting out. It's locked. I tried to call the park ranger, no answer because it was late. There's no other exit out. We tried a few different options. No bueno. I'm trying to unlock gates, like anything I can. If I could pick a lock, I'd pick a lock. Tried, nothing. So at the end of the day, like I look at her and I'm like, I'm going to be honest. This is a really tough situation right now. I'll drive you home, but there's no way we can get your car out right now. And I'm expecting like a freak out over this. Like, cause a lot of chicks in that situation, a lot of people, not just chicks, are going to freak out. Like, cause their car's stuck overnight. Like that's a tough situation. I was like, but don't get me wrong. I'll Uber you back tomorrow so you can pick up your car. I offered to Uber her. Instead, she was dead calm. She was like, didn't laugh. I wouldn't say she laughed about it, but just super mellow about it. She's like, all right, that works. I'm going to hit up my friend and see if she can pick me up tomorrow to get my car. And I was like, that's it? Like, that's your reaction to it, is just chill? That stuff like that is a green flag.
And that's when you fell in love?
That's when I fell in love. Nah, but that as an example was like good traits to look for that you see on dates.
Yeah.
That's like not a, cookie cutter. You don't see that on a spreadsheet.
That's good. How long ago was that?
Fairly recently, probably like a few weeks ago now.
A few weeks ago. Have you been in contact?
We're in contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't dig too deep. Just want to know. Just curious.
I mean, it's not my girlfriend. Like, we're not.
Just friends.
But
hanging out.
listen. I'm at a place in life, bro. I meet a cool chick, I'll get to know her. And I feel like dates are the best place to get to know her. And you got to take your time with that. You got to be patient, because a lot of people are way too quick to just, pull the trigger on something, wife a chick up, date her, and like they're official now, and then they got to break it up. Instead, take your time, get to know chicks, like get to know different chicks too. A lot of people date one chick and they just fall in love and that's all she wrote. You gotta date a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta get to know different chicks. I'm not saying do it all at the same time, but like, let's say you're 18 years old, you're getting out of high school, and you meet a chick you like a lot of the times you just fall in love and run with it. And like you realize that you guys aren't even compatible. You got to get to know a chick to figure out that you're compatible.
It's almost like you're falling for the idea of the person without really getting to know them, not getting to know what's out there. Like, I hate to say it, but Rod's first girlfriend, and it happened. It was his first girlfriend. He just kind of fell in love. He ignored all the reds. They weren't really compatible, and it didn't turn out good.
Well, that's how it always goes, but it gets dragged out when you ignore it and you cuff them and you try to ignore it as long as you can. It's better to uncover that stuff quick. But there's also like a chick I was talking to, a different chick that was like a super, what do they call it when they just like drop all their trauma right away? There's a word. Trauma what? Oh yeah, trauma dump. Yes, that's the word for it. Appreciate you, Rod. Like trauma dump. Where like the first time I took her on a hike. And she's just telling me everything, all the baggage right away. I'm not going to lie. I understand the approach, like get it out right away. But it's like a little overwhelming to like take it all in and digest it. Yeah. Like it's good to naturally.
When you're done, you're like man.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I'm at a stage when I'm learning still. Like I'm learning what I like, what I don't like. Not to say like if I were to really get to know a chick for a while and she's the right one, I wouldn't cuff, because I would. But you just got to stay patient.
So what's stopping you? Is it just meeting the right one?
No, I feel like there's no chicks that I've talked to recently that I've talked to long enough and it's gone well enough and I've like seen all the green flags to cuff, because that's a significant play. When you cuff, when you officially cuff somebody, that means that if you're dating them, like officially dating them, you cuff them, your intention's got to be to go for marriage. So you got to at least see the basics. In my opinion, I mean, I don't know if this is the right way to go about it, but I feel like you at least got to see the foundation that this can be something before jumping into it. And you got to see that for a while. Anybody can fake it for the first few links.
Yeah, that's why there's what's the 3-month rule. After 3 months, you start to see, the true intentions.
I agree. I didn't hear about that rule, the 3-month rule. No.
I feel like it's a pretty known thing.
Rod, have you used the 3-month rule? He called it the honeymoon phase, yeah.
Essentially, it's like the same thing. It's like the 3-month rule. Wait 3 months, and then you'll see the person's true colors. Like, they're all nice, lovey-dovey. After 3 months, they get annoyed. Not nice no more.
Because I get scared, man. I've heard so many, like, nightmare stories of...
About what?
Divorces and stuff like that. So I feel like, for me, I'd rather play it patient now while I'm still in the dating stage than jump the gun and get in a really tough situation.
Yeah, well...
But if you meet the right one, jump it. You just got to know.
So how do you know if you met the right one?
That's a good question. I don't know. Some people say that the first link but I really do feel like the 3-month rule is a good thing, especially if it's a chick you didn't already know before. I get it if like somebody you met as a friend and you've been talking to them for a while, like as friends, and you've already seen all that you needed to see to know. But let's say you met a chick for the first time, you went on the first date with them, and it went really well. I think that's tough to call like, oh, this is the one.
Yeah, that's jumping the gun, man. It's just hang out with them, get to know them more, and you gotta wait. You gotta be patient. That's the problem. People don't want to wait. They
People
just
don't want to wait.
Yeah, they jump right into it, not knowing what they're getting into,
Yeah.
and it never works out, unless you're Jeff.
Yeah. Worked for Jeff.
Yeah, I think he was one of our friends. He was friends.
Is. Yeah. He said was like it's
No, I
past
said one of
tense.
our friends.
Yeah. He came on the pod, but we never released it because it wasn't something was wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways,
The audio was messed up.
he pretty much told the chick, like, I like you, you like me, let's date, like right now. And like there was no let's feel it out, let's hang out, let's get to know each other more. It was just like, hey, I like you, like me, like let's do this. And for him it's worked out.
Yeah.
They've been together. Rod, you know how long they've been together? Over a year, and like, I mean, by the looks of it, he's probably gonna get married to her.
Seriously, like the way it's
Yeah.
looking.
He was
But-
telling me that in Mexico, his like grandparents were talking to him about marriage. He's like,
Yeah, so,
Rod's not on the mic, but he said in Mexico, like his parents, or grandparents were talking about marriage already.
yeah, so he's pretty much wanted to marry this chick, and I mean, for him it worked out fine. But I've never met anybody that being in that situation where it's just like, hey, I like you, you like me, let's date. I haven't seen that work out for anybody else. So
Yeah,
good for him.
it is good for him. Rod, we need to get you a mic.
Yeah,
We need to get Rod a
Even
mic so when he says small things, I want that to be picked up on the audio.
Yeah, for now we just repeat what he says.
Yeah, it will be his echo.
But yeah, good for him.
Do you want to fall in love?
Do I want to fall in love?
Yeah, where are you at? You've had some situations recently. You were fresh off a relationship.
I was.
How
Yeah.
long ago? 2 months?
I'm not good with timing, so I don't know.
But around what, 2 months? Is that a good
Like
estimate?
2-3 months maybe,
And how long did you guys date for?
like a month,
No. No, there had to be at least 4.
4 months.
And that's 4 months after you cuffed.
Yeah.
You were talking and dating for what, a year?
If that's what you're going with.
That's crazy. That's a big deal.
All right, proceed.
Yeah, no, I was saying, like, how has it been coming off of that? Like, where are you at with everything?
I mean, it's good, man. Honestly, I like where I'm at. Just focused on what I got to do. As you guys know, I'm taking up jiu-jitsu. I just fell in love with the sport, and that's really all I care about. I mean,
You
obviously
fell
not
in
all
love
I
with
care
jits
about.
quick.
Dude, yeah. Honestly, so far, it's changed my life. I love it.
How has it changed your life?
Ever since I stopped playing football, that like competitive feeling, the adrenaline, just knowing that I have to compete, where it's like kill or be killed mentality, is that. Like, I've been missing that ever since I stopped playing high school. And being on the mats, you just forget about everything, and it's just you, technique versus the person in front of you.
It's so funny that you found that in jits, and I've been hooping more. So I
Yeah.
wanted to do jits, but I've been playing basketball and just falling in love with it again.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I mean, I'm rusty. I'm not as good
Yeah,
as I
and
used to be, but
I'm not nowhere close to being good in jiu-jitsu, but it's one of those things. Like, my first day in the gym, I walk in, dude, I'm just getting choked out left and right, submitted, tapping, getting slammed, looking silly, but like that's what it takes. And I remember my first day, I think for like 2-3 weeks, I didn't win one round,
yeah.
but I left so happy. I'm like, dude, like I love this shit. And I would talk to the coaches. I was like, yeah, like I love this. I know the only way to get better is just keep losing. And now, I mean, I'm still not good, but I'm finally winning rounds and competing and, you know, competing pretty
You're
much.
watching yourself progress.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also, do you find yourself in a flow state when you're doing jujitsu? Do you lose track of time and you're just,
Oh,
because
yeah,
you have to be,
man.
someone's trying to choke
bro.
you out.
When it's just, at the very end of the class, we'll go 5 or 6 5-minute rounds. And for those 5 rounds, it's just you, the person in front of you, and you only get 30-second rest. It's like a normal fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just cardio. Who's gonna push harder? Who's gonna come out on top?
You got to be tough-headed too, because you can't, a lot of people when they first get started, they tap too early. They don't realize they had more in the tank because they don't know what they could
Yeah.
do defensively to get out of bad situation.
You got to stay super calm, keep your composure, and you can't be afraid to lose because, let's face it, I've seen even the best guys get choked out. It happens. you're gonna lose. You just reps, just keep doing it.
It's meditative too, because you're so in that flow state, in that zone, and you got to focus on your breathing, and you got to focus on, you're in a tough situation. You have a guy trying to choke you out, yet you have to stay completely conscious.
Stay calm. I'm telling you, man, I get put in the worst situations possible, and all it is just staying calm. The second somebody tries to just overpower, use all their strength, you're in a terrible spot. You just got to stay calm. It's really just a chess match.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's the best way to put it.
I'm the overpower guy. I get in that fight or flight.
I already know. I went up
Me.
against a guy similar like you.
Yeah.
I choked him out, and he got mad, so he went like 100% just balls to the wall.
Yeah.
He threw all the technique out the window and just tried using all his strength. He started like slamming me like hard. He was groaning. He's like, because he got so mad.
Yeah.
But the whole time, obviously, he's a bigger dude. He's like 6'2", maybe like 210, 215. And he was overpowering me with strength, just slamming me. And the whole time, I'm fine. Like, I'm processing everything. I'm like, he's so mad right now. He's burning himself out. And like, I'm chilling right now.
You were in that state where you were separated from yourself.
Exactly.
And able to notice what's going on around you. You weren't just in your head like, oh, he's going to get me. Like, he's going to choke me out.
Because if you're new and somebody does that, you feel the power, the strength. You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm fucked. But in reality, like you're in a great position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tired himself out. The round ended, but he didn't get me. So
I mean, bro, it's all about that flow state. That stuff's so important. Like we were hooping today, and like I catch myself when I'm just playing. When I play basketball, like I don't think about anything else. I'm completely dialed. Like what I have to do later that day goes out the window.
That's how it is.
If I miss a shot, luckily I have that problem with my brain. I have that loose screw where I forget about it. I can airball over the backboard. The next shot I take it like I've made 30 in a row. Like that's that stuff that no matter what you do is going to take you to the next level. I still wish I dunked on that kid today.
Oh, yeah.
I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, but that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
On the mats, everything goes out the window. You forget about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and too, like when I'm done, I feel like insane amount of happiness. Like I'm driving home, I feel great, man. It's crazy.
That's like when I hoop, bro.
Yeah, that's why I've been trying to get Rod to come to Jits, because growing up he didn't play any sports or do any type of competing in anything. I want him to experience it.
Everybody needs to have that feeling because it also translates. Like obviously, we all work in business and there's sales involved with it where you're calling people and you're going to get a lot of people that aren't interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And when somebody says no, just like you get choked out in jiu-jitsu, you miss a shot in basketball, you miss a game-winning catch in football, like you can't just immediately get down over that, put your chin down, take the loss and hold on to it. You have to learn to let it go. And in business and sales and everything in life, it's the same way. Like when you mess up at something, you got to take that as like a learning lesson. And sometimes, sounds weird, you don't even take it as a learning lesson. You just kind of drop it onto the next. Keep it moving like it never happened.
That's what you're supposed to do. The second you get in your head about it, say you drop a ball, you get choked out, you miss a hoop, you miss a bucket. Second you start to think about it, you're going to be scared to catch, you're going to be scared to shoot it, and it's never going to work out for you.
I need a life update from you, bro. Obviously, you're doing jiu-jitsu now. You told us you're out in relationships. What are your goals right now? What are your life goals? What are you looking to do?
Ooh. So this is actually, I mean, nothing crazy, but I do want to get my
Bachelor's?
My associates, because I'm close to getting it, and I've probably been out like a year and a half from school. And you were here. We were talking with Taylor about he just started going to school. I think he had like 2 credits.
Yeah.
And he honestly pitched me on, because I'm pretty close to getting it, my associates, on going back. And then from then on there, we'll see what I do if I go for my bachelor's. But
what can you see yourself doing in business? What do you enjoy doing the most in business? What part of it do you like?
Laying out, I guess. I'm having trouble finding the right word, but maybe game planning and executing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You want to build a business plan. You want to get good at business planning and understand the mechanics of the business. plan it out to a T.
Yeah, marketing. It's pretty much everything that goes into business.
You want to learn everything.
Yeah.
You can get an MBA
I could.
and just go all the way. I feel like MBAs are dope.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to school for business, you might as well get an MBA. That holds more weight, too. 2 extra years.
Yeah.
A little bit harder, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just taking longer. Just do it. What about you? I know you're like, what do you got, like 6? You're pretty much in the same boat, but you're closer to get your associates.
I'm like 1 or 2 classes away.
Yeah, at that point, like, you might as well just get it, just to get it.
I could. I don't know exactly where I'm at with school. I mean, nothing I ever want to do in life requires a degree, and I've luckily been in roles where that required a degree and done well at them. So I know I don't need it at this point, and I have a really solid resume. So I know I can get jobs based off my resume. So for me, if I were to go back to school, I would just do it while working, but I would do something I'm interested in. I wish, like,
I wouldn't expect you to stop doing everything you're doing. But I'm going back to school full time.
Be a nurse.
Yeah, like, but I don't know, man. There's so many different fields and routes that you could go.
I love psychology. I mean, it pays nothing, so I wouldn't like ever use that degree, really ever. I would genuinely go just to learn more about it because I'm so fascinated by like the psychology behind things and people, behavior change, like how people act in social situations.
Mm-hmm.
I love that stuff, how personality type affects the way somebody acts. Because like me and you, we could be in the same situation. We're doing 2 completely separate things.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, you see it every time that we go out. You're talking to everybody, any and everybody about anything, and I'm not.
But you do, though. You find like 1 or 2 people and you chop it up with them. That's your personality type. And it may be the people you're with.
It is the people I'm with.
Usually.
I will never talk to strangers.
I feel like I've seen you talk to strangers before.
Really?
Though. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've seen it 100%.
Really?
Yeah. But you got to find someone you click with.
Yeah. It's true.
Because everybody you know right now that are your friends were once a stranger. We used to be strangers.
It's true.
Complete strangers, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you talked to me.
Yeah.
You started talking to me.
Yeah.
It was like you were getting at me or something.
I was hiring you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. But no, I was like, this guy's a dope guy. That was my impression. I was like, this guy seems pretty locked in. That was the impression I got of you. It's like you're locked in, and then the more we talked, the more I was like, oh shit, we got that in common. And then pretty much, I mean, Tommy said it. He was like, you guys are like the same person. You're either gonna like this guy or hate him.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah. Because it's weird. We're the opposite
Personality.
but like our interests are almost perfectly aligned.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
It's weird. God's a crazy guy, bro. He makes literally every human on this earth different.
Yeah.
That's why I like
look
talking
at
to
us
people.
3.
Yeah.
We're completely different. Rod, he's like a 0.1 in a trillion, bro. Like, I've never met a person like Rod.
No. I never met a guy named Rod.
I never met a guy that introduced himself as Rod.
Or
And
the
just so-
ROD.
And just so you guys know, his name is Brandon, and he introduces himself as Rod.
Yeah, we introduced him as Rod too, for sure.
The R, call him the RO, Arre.
But yeah, bro, I love meeting new people, bro. It's so interesting how you get to hear about this human, because humans are so interesting, bro.
You love meeting new people. I really don't.
You know what that is?
What?
There's psychology behind that. I read a book about it, listened to podcasts about stuff like that. So the reason why I like talking to people is because my brain naturally takes an optimistic approach about people. I automatically see the best in people and want to like hear their story and figure them out and understand them. My guess is that you may have more of a pessimistic approach about people. Would you call that Inaccurate?
What does that mean? Like
Like
think
you're
of
like,
the worst?
yeah, you think the worst, like the worst situation. Like, this guy's going to be an a-hole, or like,
Yeah.
there's no point in talking to this guy because we're not going to have anything in common anyway. Like, clearly he looks like
Yeah.
just some random.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. There are people like that. Like, I don't talk to everybody, but I don't know, man. People are interesting. Even the people you don't get along with, I want to understand them. Like, dude, why are you like this? Like, when you meet someone that's like either weird or just an absolute a-hole, bro, I want to figure them out. Like, how did you end up in your shoes right now?
Yeah, I don't think that way at all.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rod, which way do you think, Rod?
I feel like I'm more in between.
Rod said he's in between.
Yeah, I'm more like, why do you think like that? But also, like, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I think, why do you think like that? But I don't think that puts me in between.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. See, we're all different. Every human is different in the way they
It's like, I'm here,
process life.
you're here, Rod's here.
Like, the trip about it is we all process life differently.
Yeah.
We could all be in the exact same situation and process it completely differently, but naturally we assume the person next to us is processing it the exact same way.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Like for me, for example, say Rod's a stranger, I automatically think the worst. So in my head, he's probably thinking the same thing. I don't know.
You think that,
Yeah.
but he's probably not thinking that. Or like, if you were to look at me and you didn't know me, you'd probably think the worst. But little do you know, this guy seems dope.
Mm.
But sometimes I definitely probably talk to people and they're like, I don't want to talk to this guy. But luckily I could pick up on that,
It's
obviously.
like,
but
even at grocery stores, like,
Yeah.
when I'm checking out, I don't really want to talk. I just like, I want to buy my groceries and get out.
I'm the same with that, though.
Nah, bro, you talk to everybody.
But it's brief. It's real brief. It's like a how are you?
Like when they're asking me, like, find what you were looking for, obviously that's just part of their job, but they'll kind of expand and be like, any plans today? Like, oh, you did it? Like, start acting like they care. Like, I know they don't give a shit.
See the word you just used? Acting like they care. Pessimistic.
Well, they don't give a shit, bro. I walk out, they completely forget about it.
That's probably true. Most of the time, unless it's a chick that,
Unless it's
wants
chick,
a little
yeah,
bit
I
of the
mean,
G-bow.
Those always remember me, obviously, and remember every last detail that I said, but those are 1 in a million.
So from your perspective, I like talking to everybody?
Yes, 110%.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I can't go anywhere without you talking to anybody.
Rod seconding that? Dude, people are interesting. I don't think I talk that much to them, though. It's usually brief.
You can't go anywhere without talking to somebody.
I have to talk to people, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
have to.
point. That's
You got to
my point.
learn your situation, learn your environment.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
That's crazy. So what gets you going
What gets
in
me
life?
going?
Like what gets you going?
Elaborate.
Like what do you do every day outside of jiu-jitsu? Because we already covered that.
That is what gets me going.
Like in your day-to-day life, what's like the motivation for you behind everything? Like what gets you up in the morning? What gets you fired up?
just having a bunch of tasks that I gotta bang out. Like I don't want to get up every morning. I honestly wake up tired every day and don't want to work. Even though I love jits, I'm like, shit, I gotta go to jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole, like for me, I gotta hydrate. I gotta have my meals in, or else I'm not performing.
Yeah. So it's more so just the monotonous, like, get it done to get it done. There's no deeper meaning behind it. There's nothing you dig deep to on the days that you don't want to do something that keeps you going.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be successful. That it's what drives you, what keeps you going. Because if your end goal wasn't important to you, then why would you do it?
I think I'm like that too, but I'm in the middle. I'll explain. So you obviously have the drive to be successful. That's what you're running towards. But then you have what you're running from. The days I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm tired, I want to sleep in, I don't want to do this today. I run from that guy, the loser. I call it the loser, literally in my head. I'll be like, don't be a loser. Maybe that's harsh words to people that indulge in that. But I feel like if you give in to like your weak mind every single day, it's a loser mentality. I run from that more than I run towards success. And you end up running towards success.
It's a great way to put it, yeah. Because it's like, regardless of how I feel, like, it doesn't matter. Like, when I don't want to get up, when I don't want to train, don't want to work out, don't want to get meals in, it's like, fuck how you feel. Like, I could feel like shit not wanting to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
It just kind of like instilling that into your brain that regardless of how you feel, you're going to do it anyways. Just get it done.
That's what you have to do. And the more you do that, the more like you feel more stoic in life. Not in a bad sense, not in like an emotionless sense, but in the sense of like, you don't want to do something, I'm going to do it anyway.
And it's rewarding.
Super.
Like when you don't want to do some shit and you finish it, you get something done. So rewarding.
Except when you're like us and no matter what you did, you're like, oh, it wasn't enough. Could have done more.
That's true.
Could have been better. But you do got to stop and smell the roses. I got to work on that.
I mean, I feel like we've been traveling a lot and we got some more traveling coming up. And for me, like, I don't go nowhere. You travel a lot. I've never really traveled like that.
You do now. You didn't. I have more experience
now.
with it. But you're getting... So what got you into travel? Because you're super down now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, stop and smell the roses. Life's not all about... What's the point of living life if you spend it just fucking dying in work forever? Like, go fucking actually live life and experience the world.
Yeah.
And not just stay in this little bubble. Like, there's so much life out there.
I agree. I love it, man. Even going to our trip to Phoenix, followed by the trip to Big Bear the next week, and then we got North Carolina coming up. Then we got Mount Rainier in Washington. Then we got Texas. Then we got the cruise to Mexico, all within this year. And then I got my trip to Europe. Like,
yeah, man. It's like...
I love that stuff.
Yeah, and like for somebody that's never traveled, the only places that I've been to were from cruises. I've never really taken vacations anywhere. Like North Carolina, I would have never thought that I'd be in North Carolina or freaking Washington. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is a trip. I've never been to North Carolina. That'll be a first for me. And Washington.
Yeah.
I've traveled more out the country than I've traveled in the country. Texas will be a first for me, too.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be a good couple months coming up.
Yeah, man, with good people, too. Most importantly. Who you travel with is super important.
I agree.
Would you ever do solo travel?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't think I would. Maybe when I'm like super old, but not right now. I got to have people that I can have a good time with.
I agree. It makes it way better.
You can obviously meet people, but it's not the same because when you're out there, you're just thinking about your boys. Like, oh, I wish you guys were here.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Unless you're like soul searching.
Unless you're soul searching, but that means you're in like fucked place.
I would go to like Big Bear to soul search. That's a good place. On the lake, fishing, going on hikes in nature.
I don't know.
I don't feel like I have to soul search right now. I feel like I did a lot of that the past year, so I feel like I'm in a good place. But if I ever were like in a midlife crisis when I'm 40, I mean, I guess I'll have a family by then, so there is no soul searching.
Unless you hate your family.
No, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be in that sitch.
You're all depressed. Like, I hate my wife. I don't even like my kids.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
People get there, man.
Yeah.
That's why you got to choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Don't rush it. Make the right decision.
Yeah. Shoot, man. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, we wanted to have we just wanted to get back to being consistent.
A little check-in pod.
The biggest thing.
Our last released pod, this is sad, outside of the YouTube video a couple weeks ago, was May 31st. Our last audio pod. So this will be the first one.
Such a long time ago.
Back on audio. We've been recording this whole time. People won't know on Spotify, but we've been recording consistently since May 31st. But we got a new studio. We got a new setup. They'll hear it on the audio. It's going to sound a whole lot better. We got Rod producing the podcast now, which is huge. So yeah, man. He picked the right one too. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting more and getting back after it on the podcast. It's fun.
Yeah,
more guests coming on too.
Yeah, it was fun, and we'll have Rod on more consistently. I know everybody loves Rod. They want to hear what's going on with him. We got to get a life update on you soon.
Yep.
Because you got a lot coming up.
But yeah, just our little quick plan. Weekly posts, Spotify, YouTube. We'll be posting clips on Instagram, Seek Truth Official on Instagram, Seeking Truth on YouTube, and then obviously Seeking Truth on Spotify. So weekly posts are coming back. So if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, leave us a 5-star on Spotify. We have a great amount of 5 stars on Spotify, so I'd love to see that continue to grow. And if this goes up on YouTube, give us a subscriber. Be our first subscriber. I don't know if we have one right now.
Yeah, you better subscribe, like, whatever, or else Rod's going to be under your bed, and you don't want that.
You don't want Rod under your bed.
He's going to do some nasty things to you.
Yeah, Rod's a nasty one, and he's looking in your window right now. That was a little delayed, but it's all good. Anyways, we out.